Jordy baby.
Hello, it's Jordy baby, and it's time to watch another YouTube video. And today it is one of my favorite film critics, Mark Kermode from England, BBC, and it's his top 10 list of 2015, but it's only part one, so he's going 10 to 5. He is, I think he's my favorite critic. Let me rephrase that. He is my favorite film critic. I think his whole body of work. He's not somebody that just makes YouTube videos, of course. This is just something he does for fun. He's the BBC's main critic, has written books on the subject, has a PhD in it. This dude knows his stuff, and I generally agree with him. In fact, we both have the same favorite movie, which The Exorcist. Come on, perfect. Maybe. It's great. It's really great. So anyway, sorry I'm rambling. I'm really excited about this, and I also love his bottom 10 list. Those are usually really fun. But predictions. Carol's probably going to be it's going to be up there. So, will Star Wars make this list? I don't think it will. I think Star Wars is going to be his number 5 film. Creed might make this part. And The Danish Girl. Those are my 2 predictions. Creed and The Danish Girl. He also has a lot of British movies that I don't know. So yeah, let's just check it out.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. It's the end of the year, and it's that time at which we all like to make lists. Now, I understand that lists are inherently foolish, but I always have to do a top 10 for a newspaper anyway.
He's so damn
and
smart.
The bottom 10 is something that we particularly enjoy here at Kermode Uncut. So, as usual, we've broken both the top 10 and the bottom 10 into 2 parts. So, let's start off with numbers 10 to 6 of my favourite films of 2015. And I'm referring, incidentally, to films released in UK cinemas in 2015, regardless of when they were made.
I actually saw that one. It's good.
And we start off at number 10 with a film that was actually made a couple of years ago, but only opened in UK cinemas this year. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, the first of 3 animated features to make it into my top 10 for 2015.
Wow.
The best thing about this year has been just how diverse animation has been. If you looked at the contenders for the Best Animated Feature Oscar in February 2015, it was an extraordinary field, and this was one of the titles
Inside Out? Is that
It's
going to be on
wonderful,
his list?
it's hand-drawn, it's timeless, it's the kind of thing that I think could appeal to audiences of all ages, and also it's a kind of melancholic swan song as far as Ghibli is concerned.
Think what
it's
his
one of those
other
films that remind you
animated
just how
movie would be.
rich, just how grown up, but just how universal animation can be. And it's straight at number 10, my top 10 favourite films of 2015.
I never would have guessed that it would feel like this.
Don't know this one.
It seems to me that finding this out has somehow completed my life. All of the things I would imagine one would feel, I don't feel.
On to number 9, and a documentary. Now, there were so many great documentaries released in UK cinemas in 2015. Cartel Land, The Syrian Love Story, Orion, The Man Who Would Be King. But the one which really stood out for me and made my top 10 was Julian Temple's The Ecstasy of Wilko Johnson. Now, as you know, I absolutely loved Oil City Confidential. In fact, gave a Kermode Award to Julian Temple for that documentary. The Ecstasy of Wilko Johnson is kind of the follow-up, but it's so much more. It is a film about a matter of life and death. It begins with Wilko Johnson facing what he believes to be a terminal diagnosis, and what's revealed during the course of the documentary is how much that diagnosis suddenly made him feel alive, suddenly made him appreciate life, suddenly made him extremely aware of his surroundings. Julian Temple, I think, is one of the best music filmmakers around, but in The Ecstasy of Wilko Johnson, he does something more profound than that. He makes a film which is genuinely transcendent. Straight in at number 9, The Ecstasy of Wilko Johnson.
Sometimes I was a bit frightened, I lost my mojo.
Wait till you find yourself in the arms of your lad at the harvest time.
I've been
It should be
slipping.
after you, the lads, with your eyes like that. Hello.
On to number 8, and it's wonderful to say that 2015 has been the year that we saw the return of Terence Davies. For years and years, Terence Davies couldn't get films financed. Amazingly, after The House of Mirth, he waited 8 years before Of Time in the City became the toast of the Cannes Film Festival. Well, since then, he's had the Terence Rattigan adaptation of The Deep Blue Sea, and now his long overdue Sunset Song has finally arrived, and it was absolutely worth the wait. A terrific adaptation of a classic novel by Lewis Grassic Gibbon, lent something magical by wonderful 65mm photography. I really liked the performances. I thought Peter Mullen was terrific. I thought Agnes Dame continues to impress. But at the heart of it, this really is a Terence Davies film. Now, since he made it, he's got another film in the can, and he seems to be on a roll. In his 70s, he's not slowing up at all. And how wonderful. He's one of the UK's greatest auteurs, and this is one of his finest works.
In all of the days to come, her heart would beat in this land, and she would be content.
Dear Ailish, it's hard for me to believe that you're reading this thousands of miles across the sea. It seems everything is so exciting and new compared to here.
Would you dance with me? The secret is to look as though you know what you're doing.
I wish someone had told me that years ago.
And on to number 7, and a film which I think was quite hard to sell because it's such an understated and quiet adaptation of a novel. I'm speaking, of course, about Brooklyn, with a fabulous screenplay by Nick Hornby and a wonderful central performance by Saoirse Ronan, who, frankly, hasn't put a foot wrong since getting awards nominations for her role in Atonement all those years ago. I loved Brooklyn, and I was worried that it might not find an audience. Loads of people went to see it because of the great word of mouth, and loads of people got in touch with me afterwards to say it's their favourite film of the year. It's one of those movies that's really rewarding and satisfying in a way that films of the 40s perhaps used to be. Some people have described it as a woman's story. I think it's much more universal than that. And I think it's one of those films that reminds you of the richness of cinema with an absolutely dynamite central performance.
I'd imagined a different life for myself.
But your life here could be just as good. Better, even.
Last one.
This is an ancient shell that my mother
So I'm
gave
going
me
to say,
a long
don't know
time
this
ago.
either. Shit.
Hold it to your ear and listen carefully. You'll hear the song of the sea.
Which brings us to number 6, and the second animated feature to make my top 10 this year. Once again, an animated feature that competed for the Best Animated Feature Oscar in February of 2014, Tom Moore's Song of the Sea. Again, it's a movie that reminds you of the richness and variation of animation. It's so different in its look to The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. It's a wonderful blend of music and visuals and folk tales. I think it could play to audiences of all ages. I've now seen it 3 times, and every single time it has made me cry. It's a brilliantly difficult film to describe because so much of it is to do with the tactility of the visuals.
I
really think
like the
we're going
animation
through a
a
golden
lot.
age of animation. I've said this several times in the blog before. I will say it again. And Song of the Sea is one of the proofs of that golden age.
All of us are connected, and we'll all share in our fate.
I have to find her.
So those are just some of the gems released in the UK in 2015. Tune into the next Kermode Uncut blog for my worst of the year, numbers 10 to 6.
That's going to be good. Oh, man, that's going to be really good. Okay, so honestly, little disappointed because none of my predictions were right. But, you know, with a great critic like Kermode, he sees so many films and he turns you on to films. So I'm going to have to watch, oh my God, I'm going to have to catch up big time. 4 of those films I haven't seen. So, wow. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. So, what did you guys think? Do you agree with his list? Of course, this isn't complete yet. I'm going to do part 2 of his list as well. I might do his worst. We'll see. Those are usually fun, but I don't know. I just like his rants on the worst films instead of his list of them. But anyway, be sure to go down to the comments and give me your 2 cents. What do you think? And I will see you guys later. Bye.